Terraces, a very common landscape. There are a variety of terraces in the world, on mountains high above sea level or on hilly land 200 to 500 meters above sea level. It attracts tens of thousands of visitors each year.
China has the largest area of terrace fields in the world, with over 133 million hectares of arable land. Terrace fields accounts for more than 1/4 of it. I'm Nardis from South Africa, and I've traveled to more than 20 cities across China. Today, I'm at the Yunhe Rice Terraces, located in the mountains to the southern part of the Yangtze River. Let's start our trip.
Yunhe Terraces was named one of the 40 most beautiful attractions to visit in China. Yunhe literally translates to peaceful clouds. For more than 1,000 of years, Yunhe Terraces and its surrounding area have been home to local farmers, and it played a central part in their survival. Winding like a maze up the mountainsides, between 200 to 1,400 meters high, these individual terraces can be constructed of as many as 700 layers.
This viewing deck is about 800 meters above sea level, and as you can see beside me, it's very beautiful. Therefore, it's also one of the favorite spots for photographers to come to. 大家好，你们今天拍的怎么样？
还行吧，马马虎虎。
马马虎虎吗？
光线不是很理想，今天。
我可以看一下吗？
这施肥的这个一个整个劳作的这一个场景还可以哈。
对的，还可以。
这施肥的这一。
Liu Lili, a well-known photographer in Yunhe, is one of the first photographers to take photos of the terraces and show them to the world. Ever since she took her first photo of the Yunhe Terraces in 2004, Liu Lili has been photographing them for nearly 20 years.
你看这一张呢是05年的拍的一张照片，当时呢这些地方呢是梨树，种的这些稻谷呢当时呢还是家家户户的，所以呢他们呢有些已经开始种了，有些就没种，这种是最原生态的那时候。那么到07年的时候，电线杆子、移动基站，然后一些耕地都已经抛荒了，所以整个梯田的状况呢，看上去呢就没有那么美观了。10年以后，通过整治，然后通过一些复垦，灌上水，种水稻了。现在我们看到的就是10年以后的那个梯田。
From 2005 to 2010, the uncultivated fields underwent reclamation, replanting, and was transformed into fertile farmland. These photos record the changing history of the terraces and witness the great efforts made by the locals for the terraces.
Today, visitors marvel at the beauty of the rice terraces, but they are more than just a spectacle. For over thousands of years, they have formed part of agricultural civilization, and it's the land on which local people live. Now, why were there so many built, and how were they built? Well, the answer lies in the village I'm going to next.
Yunhe Terraces is located in Chongtou town, where about 1/5 of the residents are She people. She is an ethnic minority group in China. Their ancestors made their livelihood mainly by farming. More than 1,400 years ago, in China's Tang dynasty, a group of the She people migrated to Yunhe from today's northern Fujian province. Most of them settled nearby this mountainous area. Because of the geography of the mountains, they could only grow some crops on the slopes. They were the first people who cultivated and created these terraces.
Today, the village is home to some descendants of the She ethnic group that have migrated here over thousands of years ago, and the customs have been passed down for generations. A fragrant smell fills the room, and I'm very curious to find out where it comes from.
This is a She sachet filled with Chinese herbs from the nearby mountains.
就你持针是要这样，这样，
这样的吗？
这样啊，这样持，这样你那个样子，我看你手出去。
谢谢。
这 这里很难拉，你稍微。
对，有点难。
Lei Jianying is a local She medical practitioner. She traditional medicine has a history of more than 1,000 years. The She people collect medicinal herbs and study their own medical skills. Through inheritance and improvement through generations, She traditional medicine has gradually formed its own school of medicine.
我们现在都是自己家采的草药，吃掉先，真的不好再去医院吧，这个是没有副作用的。我们很多都是口传的，口传以后下一代人就一代传一代嘛。那时候我们是住没有人住，他们都住山上的。这个就吉祥，
吉祥，
幸福啊，
幸福。
我们一般幸福吉祥，按我们自己氏族的话讲，就幸福给你。
The She people have their own oral language, but they don't have a written language. The symbols Xinfu and Jixiang have been passed down from generation to generation and are the visions of their ancestors for a better life. In the 15th century, as the smelting industry rose and silver mines were discovered near the terraces, large numbers of people flocked to the area and Yunhe underwent another large-scale reclamation. According to historical records, tens of thousands of workers were engaged in silver mining at that time. Together with the local farmers, the migrants continued to cultivate the terraces to feed themselves. Today, many place names in this area contain the character Yin, which means silver, such as Baiyin Valley and Yingguan Bridge. We can imagine that the town had very close connections with the silver mine in the 15th century.
This village is very peaceful and it's not commercialized, so it has a tranquil feeling, and it's wonderful just wandering around the village, looking at the architecture and what life is like in the village.
With the passage of time, the history of Yunhe's silver mine has been hidden in the mountains and became a distant memory. Only the terraces with a history of 1,000 years records its past. Thanks to hard work of generations, we can see such a large scale of artificial terraces today. It covers an area of about 5,100 square kilometers, equivalent to more than 7,000 football fields. It is like contour lines carved on the earth.
Right now, I'm going to the highest viewpoint, which is about 1,100 meters above sea level. You can drive there, which takes about 20 minutes by car, or you can take a cable car. 谢谢。The mountains are actually much higher than I thought they are. The views from here is quite beautiful. It's worth taking the cable car.
This is a scenic spot at an altitude of more than 1,200 meters. Ms. Jiao Xiaoxia, who has been living here for 3 years, will take me through the rest of the journey.
看到那个风车了吗？
我看到了。
这个就是我们云和的最高峰，叫白鹤尖，有1593米。然后呢，在它的这个1200米到200米之间，都是我们梯田分布的地方。然后伴随梯田分布的话呢，还有我们的这个小山村。经常有朋友问我，他说你们的这个种的这个梯田，水都从哪里来的呀？我说了，就是从山上来。看到那个翠绿翠绿的吗？
看到了。
哎，那个呢，就是我们的这个储水机器溃了一部分。
Generally speaking, a terrace must be supported by large forest. Yunhe Terraces is no exception. Jiao Xiaoxia told me that the highest peak of 1,500 meters is planted with rhododendrons and broadleaf forests of about 165 acres. The terraces are interwoven with a large area forest and villages. For the locals, it means more than a landscape or farming civilization. It is their home.
因为梯田的话，它有一个非常大的一个作用，就是有水土保持的这样的一个作用。然后呢，它其实也是保护了我们的这个家园。我们经常讲呢，其实守耕，就是耕田，其实就是为了这个守护我们的这个家园。然后呢，由于这个雨水啊，特别像我们这个山区呢，会有暴雨，会有造成呢很多的这个叫泥石流和这个梯田的塌方。那我们长期呢，其实耕种之后的话呢，它的土层就有一定的稳定性了，守护我们存在着几千年的这种人与 山地共生的这样的一个系统。
Time brings a great change to the world with each passing day. The unique geographical environment and history have created the terraces here. Yunhe is known to China and even to the world because of its terraces. It is also the terraces that make this county full of vitality.
At night time, it's also very peaceful at the terraces. I can hear the sounds of insects and frogs, and in the distance, I can see the city lights. The best part, I can also see the stars. I can see Miss Liu, and I want to go have a look and see what she is doing. Hi, 你在拍照吗？
是的，我在拍梯田夜景。白天的梯田呢，大家呢见到比较多，那么夜里的梯田呢，几乎就没有人拍过。所以我也想就是说尝试一下，把夜色下、月光下的那个梯田呢，不一样的美呢，分享给大家。
There are countless incredible wonders on the planet that we live. They are creations of nature as well as works of man. These terraces are the masterpiece of man's transformation of Earth, as well as the protection of their environment from generation to generation.